Welcome to episode 33 of Slice and Dice Dreadcast. I'm your host, Joe Infante, coming in from Brooklyn, New York. Here with my co-host tonight, J Mac, coming from down south.
What's up? What's up?
And unfortunately, our other co-host, Mr. Jim Backus, will not be joining us tonight.
Yes.
First time ever. I'm so sad.
Jim was possessed by an interdimensional demon called the Gatekeeper. So, while on one of his
pissed off that
there is no Jim, only Zool.
Only Zool. He was pissed off that Jim told the secrets of the orbs. So
that's what happened.
He abducted him, and he'll be back from the dimension of the void in probably next week. So we decided we'll take a trip to the void today then, and put an episode out. But we had to call in the reserves here. So joining us tonight, my partner on the Horror Mafia podcast. You know him as Big Bill Casanelli.
Hey, I am the gatekeeper. I'm the key master, actually. I fucked that up.
Bada bing.
Yeah.
And joining us tonight, making his podcast debut, Mr. Nicky Rutigliano, my cousin Nicky.
Cousin Nicky.
How's it going, guys?
Coming in from Nashua, New Hampshire.
That's right. 603.
The 603. Shout out to Phil Perrin, who is also from the Nashua area. He is the leader of the Dark Discussions podcast. So Phil's a good dude, and he's around your way.
Very good. Very good.
Welcome to the airwaves, my friend. Welcome.
Thank you.
So I've known cousin Nicky for my whole life, obviously. He's a very close cousin, like a brother type deal. So I said, listen, you got to come on a show. You know, you got to get on here. He's a funny fucker. So welcome.
Glad to be aboard.
All right. Well, as our listeners know, we usually like to talk about a couple other things before we head into our features, which, like I mentioned earlier, is The Void and also the Netflix original, The Babysitter. So we got two 2017 releases that we're going to chat about in a few. But first, let's talk to cousin Nicky and see how he's doing.
Yeah.
So, cousin Nicky, you want to tell the listeners a little about yourself?
Yeah, sure. Like personal information, biostats,
social.
Social, credit card numbers, things like that.
All right.
Penis size.
Yes.
Schlong length.
Certainly. No. Yeah. No. I work in the education business, and I do stand-up comedy on the side. And I don't know what else you want to know. You know?
Penis size.
Oh, you really. I can send you. I can make a wax casting. I got a few of those, a few prototypes. I'll send one. You know.
Holy crap! Is that the picture you just sent me? Holy shit, dude!
Self-addressed
I'm
stamped
proud of
envelope.
you, sir.
Thank you.
How do you do, mate?
In one of those yellow envelopes that have the pads on them. You ever get stuff with the yellow with the pads? Yeah.
My favorite kind of envelope.
Yeah, that is a good envelope. So I will put my my penis casting in that for you.
Excellent. If anybody else wants to order one, just send us $19.95 to PayPal sliceanddice.com.
There you go.
Oh shit.
Yep.
So Nicky is not a horror buff like us and you listeners mostly out there, but
no.
Recently he's been taking some adventures in through the horror genre. So I was like, oh, this is perfect because I'm trying to get him to start a little podcast channel of him doing little bits of comedy, you know. And I was like, well, this is the perfect lead and get a taste of the medium and see what it's all about, while getting a little torturous horror films in there. So we'll see what he thinks about those in a bit. But aside from what we watched, right, over the years, I'm sure you've seen some horror films. What are some of the memories that you have over your life about horror and the genre?
Well, I will say my first taste of horror was Nightmare on Elm Street. I was 5 years old when I
Oh
saw
my
that.
God, 84, really?
Well, it had to have been early '85 when I moved back to Brooklyn
Okay.
from mainland China. No, no, and that movie screwed up the mid '80s for me because I didn't sleep probably from '85 to '88. That scene with when Johnny Depp gets like dragged up through the ceiling and all the blood and everything, like
No, he went through the bed.
or through the
Keenan
bed or
went through
whatever.
the ceiling. Yeah.
Sorry, it was a one-shot deal for me, guys. So no, seriously, like I didn't sleep properly for like 3 years. That and like Friday the 13th, like the original ones, yeah, just scared the bejesus out of me. So definitely those two, and then I don't know. I tried to watch. I don't know, with The First Power. Remember that one with the Satan worshippers? Anything to do with like Satan in the late '80s, I was pretty much down with because I used to watch A Current Affair a lot with Maury Povich, and they were always covering like Satanists, and that Anton LaVey guy, who he was like a real life Satanist, wacky eyebrows.
For a treat tonight with The Void.
Satanic Bible, man.
Oh man, that was no. But yeah, there's pretty much like a 15-year gap between that and then I watched like The Devil's Rejects. Like that was like the last like sort of horror, I got my Joey informed me that it's like kind of a Western, but it scared the crap out of me. So,
Sure.
Yeah, I mainly I don't watch horror movies much because they're scary.
You know what? Can't fault you for being truthful, buddy.
They're freaking scary.
Because it's scary.
Yeah. So I do a little I work on the side with some kids and one of
So
them
does Kevin
asked-
Spacey, I hear.
Wow.
I didn't realize that.
Wow.
Too early.
I didn't. Was that like a new development? I don't know. I hadn't paid attention to the news. No. I work with a kid, and I do all sorts of stuff like tutoring and whatever. We work out, yada yada. But the kid loves horror, and his mother won't go with him, so because she's scared. So they asked me to go with him, and I went and I saw that Annabelle movie with him.
Oh, the new one? Creation?
The new one, yeah. And I literally, it scared the piss out of me. I took 3 pisses during that movie.
There was piss coming out of your ass or out of your dick? Really?
No, I didn't have diarrhea or anything. No,
Out of his ass, right out the hole.
yeah.
Like, boom.
I sat there like my fingers over. I was listening to clues. I was waiting
Finger over your ass, or what's happening?
Well, that's normal. I mean, that's how I drive. One hand on the wheel, the other in there. And on the high holidays too. Fingers. Yeah, it scared the piss out of me, like the jump scares and all that. But I'm ready for. I had to ready myself for it. But I think the adrenaline was pumping, and I had to urinate profusely. So, but yeah, and then I watched these movies. This Assignment, which is quite a step out of my my ordinary
Comfort zone?
way the fuck out of my comfort zone. Way out of my comfort zone. This is like giving myself a friggin' enema,
Oh man, and there was plenty of bodily fluids between these two films. That's for sure.
Oh yeah. No, you know what though? Like, all right, like the Quentin Tarantino films, like that level of blood made me like, all right, I could laugh it off, but it's still like, for me, it's still like, what the fuck, it's still shocking, to me. It was like, whoa, you know. I don't know. I still find it like demented in any form. So
We're all a little demented.
yep. So
Excellent. So, all right. Well, Jim unfortunately was not able to make it, and you know, of course, when Jim's not here, we're gonna still bring up the question. But he is the master of this topic of the crew. But I don't even know because I don't recall us ever talking about this over all these years, and unless I'm just too burnt out to remember. But what's your take upon ghosts, the supernatural, the paranormal? Have you ever had any experiences, any kind of stuff like that?
yes. All right. Number one, I do think they're ghosts. I think as long as you chill, and you're a nice person, they'll leave you alone. That's my feeling. I was in the rental car
I'm
business.
fucked.
I was in the rental car business for a while. And to get to my favorite Taco Bell, I had to literally cut across a cemetery, like an old cemetery, like George Washington, like, that era of America. Like the super old cemetery. I had to cut across to go to Taco Bell, and I'd walk through a cemetery all the time. And I did like it. I kind of would get like a vibe going through it. I don't know if it's just cliche or whatever, but I just always felt that if you're a good person, they'll leave you the hell alone. Now I lived in a house. This house was it's probably like 120 years old. Joey, you've been there, the White House, the one on Auburn Street. This house was super old, and there was one night I remember, and I had a cat. I lived with an ex there, and I had a cat. I remember the cat going nuts, like running in circles, going crazy, like screeching, like going out of her mind. And I'm sitting on the couch. I just remember seeing it in like the door. It was like a kind of like a railroad apartment kind of deal. And I remember seeing this figure, this form in the doorway, like leaning against the side, the side of the door. It was like French doors, what used to be French doors. It was like a wide doorway. Mm. And it was this woman dressed in clothes from like the 1920s. And she was just standing there. I just saw this form. I'll never forget. You couldn't tell me I didn't see it because I freaking saw that thing. And that was kind of spooked me out. And ironically, there was this deaf dude that used to come and stop by when I'd be outside having a cigarette or having a couple of beers on my porch. And I would always do like charades with this dude, and we would talk. And he could read lips and stuff. And he would talk, he could like, I don't want to say Helen Keller it, but like he could talk a little bit, and we would talk back and forth. And he said he could see spirits. And we had never talked about this before. And he said, there's a woman sitting in your bedroom on your bed. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I have goosebumps. I got goosebumps right now talking about it. And he's like, there's a woman on your bed, And I'm like, what? And I'm like, how old? Like, what is she wearing? He's like, she's wearing like an old gown that like old woman, that people wore back in the day, like a long time ago. I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
Like Bon Jovi t-shirts?
Not like a Bon Jovi t-shirt, more like a Def Leppard t-shirt. No. So yeah, that's like and it was like an old, spooky old house. That the guy that bought it was like refurbishing it, and there were parts of the house that he hadn't got to, and like he took me up to those parts of the house, and it was like a time machine. It was like stepping back into like the 1940s, like old school sinks, and like shit just wasn't updated or nothing. It was like hadn't been changed. Nothing was like renovated or anything. It was kind of nuts, to be honest with you.
Creepy.
So, yeah, that was my one.
I mean, you slept there many a nights. But I slept there a few nights, and
yeah,
I wonder if she groped me while I was sleeping.
ghost, again, HJs from beyond,
Oh, come on. How many of us did not dream about that scene from Ghostbusters really happening?
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Nice,
Yeah,
nice,
so
nice.
that's
Creepy.
my experiences with the beyond.
We've been picking up some stuff on the air, and right now we're picking up, I think, your beard scratching against the microphone or something.
Me?
I don't know. It
A
just sounds like
ghostly beard.
sounds a little scratching.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Let me know what's better. Is this better?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
gorgeous. What's it called? So we've been recording and picking up like whispers and voices over the air that we have no idea who it is.
Yeah, for real.
And on top of that, Bill, you want to tell the listeners what's going on with you?
Yeah, recently in my house, I've had some weird, like, paranormal things going on. And when I say paranormal, I mean things that I know would not normally happen. Like, for instance, my TV's been turning on itself at night, overnight. And a few times, because I turn it off at night, every night. This is a big, giant plasma TV, and I don't want to get the burn in, so...
Right.
Another time, in fact, this was like 3 nights ago. I was out and I come back in for like a couple hours, and I come back in and I see like this bag of bagels on the floor, and this tray I've got like this big giant how do you call it, like a butcher's I don't know, a butcher's
Cutting boards.
Well, cutting boards too, like this whole big thing. And the cutting boards section was turned sideways. And like something moved it. And wind will not do that. It's like metal and wood. And it was like turned sideways, and the bagels were on the floor in a plastic bag. And the cutting
Sounds
board,
like you
one
had
of the
raccoon in
cutting
the
boards
house.
was actually pulled out.
I mean, I think if
So,
a
yeah.
ghost brings you bagels, you should just say thank you.
Yeah, no, I wish.
You think you're being visited by a deli owner? A deceased deli owner?
Some Jewish guy from Brooklyn's like, yeah, I want to be
Yeah.
your ghost. But like, it's
You start
fucking-
finding locks like in your closet.
And then like this whole one of the cutting boards was out, like totally out of the rack, and it was like turned sideways, and it was crazy. And yeah, nobody was here.
Creepy.
Yeah, that's damn.
Oh,
Wow.
and on top of that, like lately my phone like dies faster than like a black guy in a horror movie. It like drains like from like 90 to like 60 in minutes. So yeah,
Question.
I think there's something going
That's
on in my
'cause you-
house.
That's because you have a Samsung, number one. Number
Oh,
two, could you
no, actually,
you-
Tanya's got an iPhone. Hers did the same thing.
ooh, what if it was the cat?
What's a cat gonna do? Start making calls when I'm not home?
No, I mean it could have gone for the bagels, tried to make a sandwich. Who knows?
No, cat don't go up there.
No,
But yeah, I
shit.
mean, it's a possibility, yes, but no, he didn't. He doesn't do that.
I know my
Wouldn't do
child.
the cat. No, I do. I know this cat. He don't jump up on there.
So we'll have to keep investigating and see what happens.
Yeah. Crazy
See what
shit.
happens.
And that
All
also
right.
started about the same time we heard the voices on that podcast too.
Yeah,
Around the same area.
It's like we all came together and it just created some powerful force to be reckoned with, and we pulled in some kind of spirit.
Well, hey, on this side, Don says he thinks it may have been his fan. No, that's a fucking whisper. That's a human talking.
Yeah, it wasn't his fan. No way.
That's a person saying something.
I wonder if I could try to edit and boost the audio. See if
Good.
I'm gonna have to fuck around and see what happens now.
Yeah.
Send, take a clip of it and send it to Jim. He knows how to do all that shit. That's like his
Yeah.
fucking,
That's his forte.
yeah.
Yeah.
He probably has a fucking program or something to isolate pieces of the audio or whatever.
Shout out to Jim for freaking producing the episodes of Slice and Dice.
Yeah, Jim, we love you.
Baby got Bacchus.
Thanks, Jim.
Baby got Bacchus. Yes.
Baby got Bacchus.
And shout out to Kane Hodder.
And Kane Hodder. We get have a show
Why?
without mentioning Kane Hodder.
Oh. I love Kane, but why?
Jim has a giant man crush on Kane Hodder.
No.
Yep. One day he will touch his ass.
Kane Hodder's ass.
like,
Is it
Kane?
burnt too?
Got a machine up his ass, that fucking guy. Yo. All right. On that note, I'm having a little dum lollipop. If it's making noises, I'm sorry, listeners. It's a little sucky, tasty. So let's get into our two feature reviews here. So Jim is usually our synopsis guy. So J Mac, do you want to helm that?
No.
All right. I figured.
He said, "Oh no."
So
I will.
I have Bill. Would you like to
Yeah,
roll that?
send me the fucking the thing. I'll do it.
All right. So first up, we got The Void.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we do.
So this was released. I think it was released in on the festival scene in 2016, but official release date was this year, April of 2017.
Oh, really?
So it is a 2017 release. Ooh, excuse me. And
I know it was like a Kickstarter or something at one time as well.
yeah, they had an Indiegogo and actually watched. I guess it was the Blu-ray. Little thing from the Blu-ray.
Yep.
Called Nightmare Logic, Making of the Void, and they talk about that. So we'll go down that road in a bit. But directed by two dudes, Jeremy Gillespie and Steven Kostanski.
Guys from fucking Astron 6, man.
Yeah. Probably, what else? Manborg.
What was that? You hear that? Like popcorn being made?
Yeah.
Anyway,
popping corn.
yes. Manborg and The Editor and Father's Day and yeah, Astron 6.
Yeah.
So who would you
so
like
they,
me to say this description as? As Jerry Cortez?
Yeah, let's do the Jerry Cortez.
All right. Hey, Jerry, this is for you, bud. Shortly after delivering a patient to an understaffed hospital, a police officer experiences strange and violent occurrences, seemingly linked to a bunch of mysterious hooded figures.
Excellent.
That's my Jerry Cortez.
Shout out to Jerry. We're sorry about the Godfather mishap, but we will redeem you on the next Horror Mafia episode.
That's right. And we did.
Yep. But it will come out after this, actually.
That's true. But I didn't say it
We are
in his accent then.
nope. Well, all right. Let's take it from the top.
The fucking Void.
The Void. This was a freaking trip and a half, huh?
Holy shit.
Aaron Poole, my man.
Mm-hmm.
You guys know Aaron Poole?
Oh, yeah.
He looked familiar the entire movie, but I couldn't place why I knew him.
He was in a bunch. I gotta get this fucking thing out of here. He was in a bunch.
He's on TV, man.
Yeah, bunch of stuff, and we also have
yeah.
Kenneth Welsh, who's playing Dr. Richard Powell, and a couple other characters here
Was
that
that
we'll get into.
was that girl on like? I feel like she was on like a sitcom. Like
The main girl, Allison.
Yeah. Yeah. She looked familiar, like she was on like an early '90s, like a step by step, like one of those shows, like Damon, one of them.
Oh yeah.
She looked like, obviously she's aged, but
Nah, look,
I
she had a
just seen her-
2001 debut.
ah,
I just seen her recently in an episode of Law and Order Special Victims Unit.
Oh,
That's
wow.
like the first place I fucking like. As soon as I seen her, because I literally just saw her like this week.
I've only seen her in two things. That was like Supernatural and something else.
She was on NCIS.
oh,
And she was actually on Law and Order this year too. So that whatever, I just seen the shit recently.
Yep, yep. So yeah, Kathleen Monroe. So yeah, she has over 50 acting credits. So she's been around the scene. And this actually ensemble, they worked really well together, I gotta say. But before we go into it, let's get your initial thoughts on The Void.
that movie was friggin' nuts.
That fucking movie was crazy, yo.
That was absolutely demented. Like it was. I had no obviously I had no expectations going into it, but I didn't know what the fuck I got myself into. Like, 20 minutes in, it was no, but I mean in terms of like a story or whatever, there was just a lot of friggin' stuff going on. You had the freaking Isosceles Triangle clan members, showing up.
Isosceles Triangle clan.
Like what the just spooky as hell, the Ku Klux
Man.
Triangles. That's what we're calling.
It's like the what do you call that? The Silent Hill 2, the friggin' pyramid dudes.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah.
I was gonna say it's funny that you mentioned Silent Hill because in the documentary they said Silent Hill was an influence on this. The whole
Really?
like otherworldly, other dimension type aspect of it.
Wait,
being in the
not
hospital.
Lovecraft, but Silent Hill, which was based on Lovecraft, really?
Yeah, no, definitely Lovecraft. That but they mentioned Silent Hill specifically.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sorry, Nikki, go ahead.
No. Yeah, no, like that opening scene, where they're coming out of that spooky farmhouse kind of deal, and then he's shooting that girl, and then lighting her ablaze. It was just like, holy cow, like what the hell's going on here? And then it goes into like those small town. I kind of like the small town cliches, like just the kind of just lazy cop, just doing nothing, just sitting there waiting for stuff to happen, and then just all hell just starts breaking loose. Yeah, I definitely I didn't know what the hell was going on with that, but yeah,
I didn't know what the hell was going on after like 20 minutes of this movie.
yeah. I mean, things were coming from all angles. Like you didn't know what was going. That one guy, would he be like the anti-hero? Would he be like an anti-hero? The guy that initially shot that woman at the beginning of the movie?
Oh,
He's just kind of a smug dick.
He just lit up a cigarette. And
Yeah.
The girl's like, "What are you doing?"
I mean, given their situation though, neonatal care was out the fucking window, like in terms of that hospital.
Yeah.
Like
Definitely.
but that guy was kind of a badass, but he was also a complete asshole.
Yeah. Which also was kept it kind of realistic too. It's like, I don't give a fuck about this. I got me, my son, and that's what I'm worried about. Look at his neck. This is what happened to the last people we trust. And it kept it kind of realistic because, hey, you know what? Don't trust nobody. Fuck that.
Right.
You got fucking alien weird shit, creature beings popping out of
Creature beans?
Yeah. Creature beings.
Yeah.
So Let me ask, Bill, J-Mac, first time watches?
Yes.
No, second time.
Okay. So this is my second time too. And first time watching it, yeah. Just when you think it's going to just be, maybe some weird culty kind of thing, and almost like hostage situation where you're, surviving these people who are stalking you, ordeal, right? In closed quarters, being trapped in the hospital. It opens up into some crazy fucking existential Cthulhu madness.
Thank you, by the way, for once for saying Cthulhu correctly. Unlike
What was I supposed to say?
Mr. ABCs of hidden horror saying Cthulhu.
Cthulhu.
I only
Yes.
know Cthulhu from the
Metallica,
song.
right? Yeah, buddy.
But
Actually, I
Go ahead.
actually read a book. I'm sorry. I read a book. Oh God, who was it? Michael Slade? I'm not sure the author, but it dealt with. This is like fucking like 81. This book came out, and it was saying that Cthulhu is pronounced Cthulhu, not Cthulhu, and that everyone who says that is an idiot. So I know that Brian's not an idiot, but just saying, I've always pronounced it that way since.
The H is silent then.
now,
Yes.
can you guys quickly? I've heard of H.P. Lovecraft. I'm guessing he's like a science, like cultish science fiction kind of guy.
Kinda
I don't know.
good,
Like
yeah.
it seems like if you really like, if you like H.P. Lovecraft, you really like H.P. Lovecraft. Like
Sure.
that's the gist I get of people who like him. Is this the kind of subject matter that he tackles in his writings? Like,
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Definitely. Extensive, trips into the otherworldly, the void, basically, right? It's just this open, vast, unknown, and he's definitely writes about that. And creatures too. I mean, Cthulhu was this fucking like octopus monster that was a god.
That came to
the
kill
God.
everybody on Earth. Yeah.
And he's the creator of this, but over the years people have taken the mythology and just expanded upon it and had fun with it. And the guy that Bill was just referencing, Brian, edits anthologies of straight up Lovecraftian stories that people adapt into like modern takes, right?
So essentially, H.P. Lovecraft, he provided a template for like a lot of this stuff to like a springboard for all these newer movies that come, that people basically give their takes on with the H.P. Lovecraft template. Is that like what they do?
Oh, yes.
And it's a great template.
Sure. And actually, Lovecraft never actually said how to pronounce the word Cthulhu, but he always said it was like. He said it's an alien language you can't pronounce in human tongue. So, but I've always based my knowledge of it. Huh?
I doubt they had speech pathologists back then. So,
he made it up in the 1800s. So. He made up the Necronomicon. He made up that. So, and I recall like this role-playing game came out in like the early 80s, and I always played it. And since then, this novel told me that the correct pronunciation was Cthulhu, not Cthulhu. So Metallica got it right according to this novel I read.
Woohoo.
Yeah.
So that's the way I do it. So that's why I thanked Joey.
Oh, you're welcome. But like people are like obsessed with Cthulhu. Like, I think it's cool. I think it's badass. Lovecraft has some great stories, but I'm not like obsessed. You know what I mean? Where some people are, and some people just study his work for their whole lives. What in the fuck was that? Sounds like somebody.
It sounded like Cthulhu was like sucking on someone's brain, man.
Yes. Holy shit. But people actually believe in this shit. Cthulhu and the Necronomicon, which is the Book of the Dead, and he made this up, and people believe that it's real.
Yes, they do.
But yeah. So,
Interesting.
anywho, to rope it back into the void, it's definitely influenced by Lovecraftian horror. You know, it's also influenced by body horror as well, which is you know, I was listening to a guy talk about the movie, and he mentioned Hellraiser, and when I was watching it, and the doctor after his transformation comes out in the end, I was just like, that dude looks like a fucking Cenobite. And he pointed out that there's a scene at the end when a monster's chasing a character down a hallway and it's enclosing, and that was paying homage to the end scene in Hellraiser when the creature's chasing Christy down and then the wall closes and she ends up back in reality.
Hell's yeah.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Cenobites didn't have genitals.
I don't know.
They did not have genitals.
Correct?
You're right.
All right, because
I was not that focused on their genitals.
Yeah, it's a recurring theme with me. But
Hellbound Heart, you're talking?
I've asked Joey about Hellraiser because I remember when it came out, it always spooked me. I think I don't even think I saw it. I might have seen 2 minutes of it, but no, I asked Joey about like who is Pinhead or whatever the hell his name, and he explained it to me, and he said he had no sex organs, and I just found that intriguing. But this guy, the doctor, whatever the hell does he have a new name? I don't know, but didn't he knocked up that that girl, correct?
Uh-huh. Yep.
So he was definitely wielding some sort of freaking brajol, Okay.
Definitely.
Brajol. Nice.
He's definitely wielding a demon brajol, right? It's fucking like extremely long and floppy, like spaghetti.
Yeah.
12 feet long.
It's like fettuccine.
Hey, fettuccine dick.
Fettuccine phallus.
Don't wait for the Alfredo, though. Oh, boy.
It's all this demon penis.
It's going to be a carbonara.
All this demon penis talk. We need Jerry on the show. Jerry Aaron.
I went to what they call Gwar. How do you say that shit? You know the fucking band?
Gwar.
Yeah, Billy
Fucking
Malone.
Gwar, man. Yeah.
A buddy of mine brought me to one of their I've said before on the show, I'm like a hip hop guy. I don't really know much about any of that metal shit. But
I've been to Gwar many times.
Yeah, I went to go see them, and it was like I guess after the original lead singer died or whatever.
Dave Brockie, yeah.
Yeah, part of the show was they were trying to like pull him out of this machine back into reality, and they end up yanking off his dick. But it's like this giant green thing, and it's like spraying green shit out all over the crowd or whatever. Dude, that show was fucking bananas. It was awesome. We had a really good time. But
let me ask you: was it a female singer when you saw them, or a male singer?
What was she called? Vulvatron or something? Yeah,
Vulvatron.
Female, yeah.
Yeah, she was spraying
blood
out of her nipples. It was awesome.
And Nikki actually knows Billy, so he knows all about his.
You know Billy, all right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I got a call. He's like, I got an extra ticket to go see them. You want to come? I've known of them. Actually, the first time I saw him was in what was that movie, Empire Records, where the kid eats the fucking brownies and he's watching it and they talking to him through the TV. So I was like, well, where are we gonna be at? Like, what am I? Because am I gonna get covered in all kinds of crazy shit? Like, I need to know, like, if I should wear my good Tims or the bad Tims, Fucking. So he was like, "No, we're not getting that close. I'm too old for that shit." I was like, "All right, cool."
Yeah. I saw him with Billy once. We saw him in I don't know, somewhere in Jersey, and we fucking came out of there with covered in green and red slime and shit.
Yeah, you gotta go with like a white T-shirt when you see him.
Yeah, and we went, and it was like in November in fucking New York, and it was freezing out, and fucking people were leaving there soaked in fucking that shit, going outside all wet, and I'm like, that gotta fucking suck. Like, you must have been having fun as fuck when you were in there, but now that it's like, 4 degrees outside and just soaking wet trying to walk to the subway.
Oof.
Yeah, I don't know. I was in Florida when I seen it every time.
But it's funny because then you see like people like going to McDonald's after the show covered in blood, and everybody's just looking at them like, "What the fuck?"
Covered in guar sperm. Oh, shit.
So we got to Guar from the Void. Let's continue.
Well, I mean, it looks like fucking Guar was the creatures from fucking the movie.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell what the hell that thing was. The first time you saw that whatever, I don't even know. It reminded me. You ever see that movie, The Village, that M. Night Shyamalan?
Oh, come on. I
Remember that?
love that movie. Yeah.
Of course.
No, I like that movie. No, I like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no.
Thank you.
But it reminded me of like the shape of that creature reminded me of that. You know, like the silhouette of it. When I first saw it, I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it kind of had the silhouette of a Krampus too.
Yeah.
I don't know what a Krampus is.
It's
Oh,
what,
we have so much to show you.
Oh shit!
Krampus
I was gonna say
police.
it's my wife. It's my wife around Christmas time. But it's a good thing she doesn't listen to the podcast. Oh. But Krampus is basically the demon Santa Claus. So,
Wow. Okay.
yeah. So anyway, the movie has a lot of influences, and it also tackles these, the kind of real life stuff, right? Where you have a father and a son, and you find out their backstory a little bit, but eventually enough to understand. You also have, Aaron Poole's character with one of the nurses, who is his wife. They, experience loss, and then the doctor experiences loss. And you also have the character of the nurse who's like basically just hanging around and like, she's studying to be a nurse or whatever. But
The bitchy Asian American nurse.
yeah, she just like seems to really not give a shit. It's almost like mommy and daddy are making me do this, that kind of ordeal.
She doesn't give a shit because there's only like 3 people in the whole fucking hospital.
Yeah. There's one patient.
Got 1 patient. There's fucking 1 doctor and 2 nurses in the entire fucking hospital.
She's just flirting with the young man in the bed, and I'm like, all right. But what else is there to do in that little ass town? I guess
Marsh County.
Marsh County. So, anyway, an interesting cast of characters that are relatable. So, nice blend here, but I mean, I've heard mixed reviews. Mm-hmm. I've heard people that knock the movie. I've heard people love it, best of 2017. But it kind of all depends, I guess, on what you're looking from the film. And for me, this has a lot of the things I like balled up into one. I mean, I could open up the doors into Joeyisms with this film.
Joeyisms.
On top of just enjoying it for its practical effects and the creature feature aspect of it. I also like the cult aspect of it. I'm really into that kind of sick shit. So, but the problem is, for me, that it tackles too much at once, where you get enough to, put things together, but you're still left with the yearning sensation to know just a little bit more, like I'm down for the ambiguity. I'm all about it. But at the same time, I needed a touch more here.
I wish there was more depth about all the, like, I'm taking it back to the isosceles triangles, like with all like, all that stuff written and all the crap going on. Like, I wish there was more info. I don't know. It looked like Freemason stuff, like,
yeah.
It looked like
the book. I mean, you see the book, right? And you have all this stuff, there's pages of shit. Like, give us a little insight into what's in that book. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like you said, there was a lot, they tackled a lot, and they did. I mean, there was a lot of layers to it, but I do wish they could have been more in depth about, like, I don't know, that whole, the actual void and entering the void and whatever the hell that doctor summoned. I mean, obviously the guy had an odd kind of coping mechanism to dealing with his loss. Like, I don't know, most people don't do that. A lot of people get depressed or, take to the drink. or
you know,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
No joking. No, but like, this guy starts starts his own cult and starts cutting people up, doing crazy shit. So I don't know. I wish there was more to it with that explained the weird triangles. That's all.
I agree, definitely. J-Mac, let's hear from you. What's your take on The Void?
I don't know what the fuck. I was really enjoying it at first, and then once shit hit the fan, I got lost. I was like, what the fuck is happening in this movie?
When you hit the third act, right?
Yeah, it got to the point. I was enjoying it in the beginning because I like that cult shit too, So the fucking triangle guys out in the woods with the knives, that kind of shit is creepy to me. I almost would have rather it from that point on been those dudes trying to get into the hospital for something and fucking killing people and shit. Then all of a sudden there's fucking tentacles all over the place. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? But when it first started, because I didn't know nothing about this until I watched it. I didn't look into it or whatever. So I thought it was going to be something to do with aliens, because they show the giant fucking triangle in the clouds at one point in the beginning. And I thought maybe it was a Monsters do on Maple Street. These people are trapped in the fucking hospital and they're going to start making them fucking act crazy and kill each other.
Twilight Zone reference. Nice.
Yeah. I think the Twilight Zone time to time. So I was kind of looking at that. And then when they never explain why those two dudes are on a fucking killing spree in the beginning of it anyway.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
There's a lot of shit they just never bother to fucking explain.
Right. Well, with the two guys in the beginning, I think they give you almost enough to understand, right?
I kind of got it, but at the same time, it's
because they come in there and they say, we've had experienced this before. They show the scar on the son's neck, right? And at that point, you don't even know if he's his son yet, really.
Yeah.
But then you also find out what happened to them before. And if you think about it, back at that farmhouse, that could be where that situation took place and how it all began. Or it could have been the in between that event and the events of the film.
Yeah, I can see that. Like I said, I was digging it, and then once fucking it went nuts. I could appreciate the fucking the effects and the Lovecraftian kind of shit, but because I do like that kind of stuff too. But I felt like they just were all right, I like this. Let's throw it in a fucking movie and make it work. And then to me, it kind of just didn't. But also, I know that you like that weird surreal shit, so I was kind of hoping you could explain what the fuck went on, so I could decide if I like it or not.
Well, I mean, all right, the cult aspect of it, right? We don't get much, right? We do get, the incantation in the end from, the doctor. What the fuck was his name? Let's call him Doc. Dr. Richard.
Doc.
I remember his name was Richard, I think.
Powell.
But, yeah, Powell, Dr. Powell. So, we know that there's this, you hear him chanting things, and we see the book, so we do have an idea that there's some supernatural things going on. But at the same time, are these demons? Is this hell? Or are these beings from another dimension, planet, time? Because remember, he said that, where he got the information from, the other higher beings is from not thousands, before time, So, and then you get that pyramid, which pyramids are symbolic for, and then you have the triangle, right? The Holy Trinity. And also, when you look around in the film, there's nobody else. They show the hotel where it's the empty gas station, right? The empty diner. There's nobody else. So when he says, at one point that this is basically the end of the world, and also you hear that siren, which is, could be alluding to the horn from the seven, in the fucking Book of Revelations, signifying that it's the end of the world, and you hear the sound. So, I mean, there's definitely, some deep shit going on in here that after a couple of views, you start to uncover, when you go down the rabbit hole. Now, should you have to do that when watching a film? No, but who says that you can't, right?
Yeah.
From point A to point B in the 90-minute film, you get a lot, enough, to understand a story, be like, what the fuck's going on, and enjoy sick practical effects. While you could go and take a look at this academically and really uncover a lot of deep shit here, So it does try to tackle too much. It's not a perfect movie by any means, but I think it's a fucking amazing effort. And when you see the documentary that I saw where it shows them how they actually made this film through the trials and tribulations, because they didn't have anything yet, and what happened was they were like, the studio, whoever, said, listen, give us a 1.5 minute I think it's called a proof of concept, where it's basically like, make a trailer and pitch us what your movie is going to be. So they would just like had a bunch of shit in their little effects studio and slapped together a 90-minute trailer that looked crazy, and it got greenlit. So then they wrote the script and everything, and they're one day from filming, and one of the finances backs out. So everything, all these props, all these fucking creature things had to get locked away and stored away. And then eventually the producer who's still with it gets another backer. And then it happens again. The fucking shit gets pulled out from under them. So twice this movie got red lighted. And then eventually, for the third time with the green lit, it goes through. But with the help of, like Bill mentioned earlier, the Indiegogo campaign. So they created an Indiegogo campaign that helped fuel a lot of money. And this is a small budgeted film. And the way that they did all these effects, man, is phenomenal, dude. They freaking, what's it called? They basically had this little effects studio, and the whole art department like came together and worked on the creatures and the locale. So what happened was they found this school. It's a Canadian film, so somewhere in Canada, they found this like abandoned school that wasn't in use anymore, and they used it. And the studio, one director would be on location there, the other director would be in the studio, and eventually they just made it happen, man. But they were saying one thing they were extremely worried about is when they wrapped filming, like, you can't go back to that place. You can't go back to all these creatures because it's all done. When you do the shot, like when the shit pops out of her, and she gets hit in the face with those cups of blood, right? Like, that was a one-shot deal, So just hearing their story, it makes you appreciate the film a lot more. But even before I watched that, it was my second time watching. The first time, it was like, what the fuck? But knowing what's going to happen, you get to look at things closely, examine the dialogue more, look into, the symbols here. And I appreciate the film a lot more than I did last time around, and my rating went up. So, yeah, a lot of shit going on in this film. Well, I'm not saying let's rate it yet, but anybody want to chime in?
Actually, yes. I just about said every fucking thing I wanted to say.
Sorry.
No, that's all right. I'm glad you did your homework, man. But yeah, everything you said, I agree. Mm-hmm. The practical effects were amazing. The fucking direction was amazing. The acting was great. The end kind of needed some work, but in the writing department, but that's all right.
Yeah.
I was just wondering that if like the cult was going to take the time to move the cop's car, like while he
at least park it for him.
Why only move it like 100 feet? And if you're gonna get in the car, move it. Why not take out all the shit that they could use to fucking like shoot you, like all the guns and bullets and shit that were in the fucking car?
That would have been a good move.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Just saying.
I wonder if that cult dry cleans all their gear,
all their fucking robes, right?
No, it's hard to get blood out of
who takes care of that for them.
But must have been Joey in the ass to hotwire that car wearing that robe, though.
Very true.
Yeah,
trying to see through the fucking triangle and shit.
They all just lifted it up and moved it.
Yeah, just picked it up and carried it down the fucking.
That's why
Did it
they
not
couldn't get
like
inside.
remind you guys of movies like Feast and not Triangle, Splinter, and
Feast,
where it's like
definitely.
everybody like
Splinter, I never
huddled
seen.
up. I love those movies.
It reminded me of a lot. Like it had fucking like Assault on Police 13 or some shit in there too. Like it was fucking
For sure, but not with like humans, but with monsters. It's
Yeah.
great.
Trapped in Close Quarters.
Right. I love that. I love that in a movie.
Except
And
there was
to
a
see
deity
that
that
with-
could manipulate the fucking what's going on in front of you and fuck with your
Sure.
head.
Right. It was like the H.P. Lovecraft monster thing on that. I was like, yeah. But the end, I was like, okay. I mean, I got the ending, but I was just like underwhelmed.
Well, let's talk about the ending.
I was wondering where she got her clothes from in the void.
Oh, so how she went from
yeah.
being in her nurse's gear to
Right,
being
to
sprawled out
clothes.
on a table and axed to death while transforming and having an alien baby,
Yeah.
and then going to being back to mint in the void.
Like if there was a Macy's in the void.
Picked up an outfit.
Is there a Marshalls or Target?
The Void
nearby?
Marshalls.
There's probably Walmart's. Walmart's everywhere.
Void Mart.
Void Mart. There you go.
I mean, it's definitely got the whole vast unknown ending, right? I mean,
Yeah, you don't know what's going on.
It parallels the ultimate questions that we're conditioned to not know the answers to. Like what happens after we die.
Yes, and the fact that you have to think for yourself and think what's going to happen. I like that.
Yes. And what happened to Dr. Powell? Did he survive? I mean, he took that axe to the shoulder. It didn't affect him. He just got pushed through into the void. And then what? Is he that temple?
Why wasn't he in there? With them. Like, I don't understand, but I don't know. He also, to me, he kind of looked like a White Walker, but gray. I don't know. Joey doesn't watch fucking Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah. Was he the dad?
He was the one with the skin off.
Sloane's dad. Remember?
Oh, I don't know.
Friggin' E's girlfriend's friggin' father.
That was Malcolm McDowell.
All right. He kind of had, this guy looked a little chubbier, but all right. I didn't know if it was the same guy. I don't know.
I have no idea. I know, like Powell was like starting to transform into a monster, and then at the end, remember where she was like kneeling in front of him, and
yeah. This movie was definitely a trip, man. Like I said, it packs a lot in there, but the ending falls a little flat. And it's kind of the ending falls flat, and where I guess this is a spoiler for
spoiler. Come on,
Death by,
it's on Netflix, man.
I was gonna say spoiler for my thoughts on a different movie that's going to be talked about on Death by Podcast, but A Dark Song. Has anybody seen A Dark Song?
No, never heard of it.
Okay, so A Dark Song, it's basically about this woman who hires this guy. What is up with the freaking sound effects?
It's not me, man.
Somebody drinking or something. It's like
a blub, blub. I heard that too.
Yeah. But
no
the
idea.
movie's about a woman who hires a guy, and they basically do incantations to bring back somebody from the dead or whatever. But the way the guy actually goes into detail about all the rituals, and you see them doing all this crazy shit, in the process, where here you don't get any of that really. It's just mentioned, and you just see a book, and then you see the guy at the end do something, and the wall opens. And I mean, he talks about how basically he wanted to take the people, transform them, and they kept not adapting to the transformation. I keep hearing it, I know. But it's
there's someone eating chips.
That's funny. But I don't know anymore. Fucking, I'm in the void.
You're in the void.
So like
at the end of the movie, they're in the void.
Yeah. They're in the void. And what is the void? The unknown.
Right.
I think that's the whole, the bigger picture of the symbolism of the ending.
It's a big black fucking pyramid, though.
Right. And it's like, it could mean something like you're in this place, but it ain't over yet. You know, you still
Right.
have that dark cloud looming over you. Even though she and you are together again and you're holding hands to show the embrace, you still have this dark force to be reckoned with.
Right.
And I mean, I believe they
A
said that they
sequel.
weren't going to do a sequel. They weren't going to do a sequel. Like, that's it. And I hope it stays that way because, you know, if they try to go down the rabbit hole and make sense of it, that's when it's going to get all fucked up.
Sure.
So, maybe I should look at my notes.
Go ahead.
No, I'm not going to look at my notes. But, yeah, it was great, man. I really enjoyed it. Something of interest that from the documentary also was the way they went about it. So they, what they would do was go into with toys and like film them with the toys. You'd see their hands holding the toys, like filming the scenes, then take it to the storyboards where they draw it out and then film it. So it was an interesting process to hear how they did that 3-step, you know, from toys to film. So that was pretty cool. Well, do we got any last thoughts, any last comments here on the film? Otherwise, we can rate this bad boy. Nikki, we do it out of between 0 and 5 zombie heads in a 0.5 increment. You could do 0.25s if you really wanna, but let's rate this bad boy. So let's start with J Mac. I'm interested to get your final rating on this because I know this. It's almost like a mix of stuff you like and shit you hate.
Yeah, it's confusing as fuck to me. Like my brain can't handle it. I'm probably gonna give it 2.5 because, like I said, I really liked it in the beginning. I was like, oh, this got me going. And then once like it went fucking haywire, I just got lost in all the bullshit. Maybe if I watch it again, I'll fucking be able to, you know, pick it apart and analyze it better and see if I got it more, I guess. But just based off the effects and the fucking, like, you know, I like the way the movie looked, the fucking creatures and the fucking cult and all that shit. I was with that, so, you know, I could take it or leave it right now. If I ever get around to it, maybe I'll check it out again. But after the first watch, it's not high on my fucking to-do list to try to get back at it. You know what I'm saying? So 2.5 for me.
2.5, right down the middle.
Nice.
All right, Mr. BC, Bill Casanelli.
Yes.
Let's get your rating and final thoughts.
I'm actually going to go a little bit higher. I love the movie. I didn't understand the ending too much because I wanted to use my own mind to think what would happen. But between the fucking setting with like the people trapped in the hospital and the people outside that were the cultists and the gore was fantastic and the fucking practical effects, I'm like 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5.
3 out of 5. I love it, but I don't get it.
Right. And Nikki, cousin Nikki.
Yes, I will. I'm gonna go with a 3 as well.
3 out of 5.
Yes.
Right.
I mean, I don't know horror from Adam. You know, I don't know anything.
I don't know horror, but fucking 3.
Frankenstein.
No, but it was I found it. I was entertained. That's all I'm going on.
Good.
I was friggin' entertained.
Yeah.
There was a lot going on. There was some shit I could, that was crazy, and I had to throw my fleece blanket over my head because I was scared.
like the guy's putting his head repeatedly into the fucking little metal pole.
Yeah,
and you
what
just
the
see
hell
right
was
through
that?
it.
Like,
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was a little much, but yeah, production wise, I don't know. I just, I could tell that they made really good use of the space that they had to produce the movie and the story and everything. I'm sticking with the 3.
Excellent. So on my first watch, I rated it a 3.5, because the ending, it leaves you hanging, but upon second watch, you really get to enjoy all those practical effects all over again, while understanding the movie a little better, picking up on little things that the characters say that insinuate things that are going to happen. You know, when you hear the father and the son talk, when they talk about things like the past, you know, it's insinuated through their way they treat each other, through the little dialogues, the little conversational things they say to each other, like about what to do next when the group wants to do one thing and they want to do another. So, you know, like I said, it's with the second watch, I boosted up a notch. It's not by any means the perfect film, but it is a fantastic one and one that I recommend. 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. Wow.
Yeah, 4 out of 5, baby.
Nice. No, I don't disagree with that. Just if I had some more love for the story, I would do the same.
Yeah. I mean, I don't need to know any more about the sheriff's background. I know that he was with his wife. I know that they lost their child, and I know that he's in a small town doing his thing. You know, every day is probably the same old thing, Groundhog Day, right? Shout out to Happy Death Day. And so you know, you don't need to know this extensive backdrop. Same thing with the doctor. You know, he lost his daughter. That's enough motive. You do not need anything else. Although questions do come about, right?
Yep, sure.
You know, like the ending, of course. But
that's
again,
why I had 3.
You know, after sitting on it, thinking about it, right, looking into the research of triangles and cults and all that kind of stuff, it really opens up the doors to a new perception of the film. And, you know, if you really had the time, you could, like I said, sit there and really go into it.
Well, you're right. And you know what, Joey, if I had the same like copy of the movie as you did, I'd agree. Because you have like the DVD with the special features, right? With the what happened behind the scenes, what's going on.
Right.
If I saw that, then fuck yeah, 4 out of 5.
Yeah, that definitely adds some depth to it, you know, gives a perspective, shows how hard they work to make the film.
Sure.
But still, that doesn't, you know, necessarily mean that, film from beginning to end should deserve this grade, because you got to E for effort, right?
Sure.
No, that effort shows in the quality film that is
exactly here. Yeah. Oh, and also I want to note again, it's not a fucking Astron 6 film. Don't be looking for a comedy with gore elements. No, it's not Astron 6.
No, it is not The Babysitter. Speaking of
it's not it's not fucking Father's Day. Yeah.
Speaking of The Babysitter, yeah. These guys, they wrote comedy. That, like, they even said it in the thing, you know. Yeah. They made these schlocky films, but they were like, let's make an actual real deal horror movie.
Sure.
And
they did great.
They fucking did. They were saying, you know, they were just texting each other titles, and one of them texted the other one The Void, and he was like, that's it.
Really? See, shit like that. If I had known this stuff, it would have pumped up my review. But yeah.
Wait, so real quick, those guys were comedy writers, and then they all of a sudden just came up with that.
They weren't comedy writers like they did, you know, sitcoms and stand. Like they made like schlocky horror comedy films.
Yeah, no, but I mean,
sci-fi type stuff.
Hey, that's pretty awesome. That they were able to do that. That's pretty sick. Cool.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
All right. So, The Void 2017. It's on Netflix. So if you have that, check it out. And the next movie up for on the chopping block is The Babysitter, a Netflix
also
original.
On Netflix.
Yeah. So, Bill, you want to drop the synopsis for the crew while I grab water?
Oh, hells yeah. This time I'll do it in a different voice. How about that? Give me a voice, guys.
Can you do Alf? We always liked Alf.
Sure, I can do Alf. The events of one evening take an unexpected turn for the worst for a young boy trying to spy on his babysitter. Directed by Mick.
That was pretty good.
That was pretty good.
That was actually,
For an Scott Alf, that was pretty
a
good.
halfway decent Alf. I've never heard anyone. And
Did
Alf's my
Alf?
jam.
I missed Alf.
You missed the Alf.
There is an Alf doll no more than 15 feet from me as I speak to you right now. I'm not
You
kidding.
have it?
I still have the Alf. That thing has friggin' cigarette burns on him, like on his thigh. Like, that thing survived.
Shit's going on at your house.
Hey, Wooly.
You know, everyone has to pay the price. Everyone. No.
Even
No.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I have a friggin' Alf doll. Yeah. My deceased uncle peed on it. Like things been through some hell. I'm not kidding.
Shit.
I know a girl
That's
that's
a
like
sucker.
Alf. I mean, she's not furry and shit, but her eyes are too close together. It bothers me.
Do I know this girl?
Your nose is
I
a
think
big
so.
wart on it.
She kind of like a cross between Alf and Lois from Family Guy.
Lois. She like red hair with big.
You know what?
boobs?
I think you definitely do know her, Joe. I'll tell you off air. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh shit, that's hysterical. Oh man. So what do we got here? We got The Babysitter 2017. This just dropped. Directed by McG. McG.
Hey, if I knew that Mick G directed this, I would have watched it a lot sooner. I love his work.
Yeah. Charlie's Angels.
Are you knocking Charlie's Angels? Come on.
It was fantastic. Sorry, it was fantastic.
No, come on, dude.
No, it was
Chuck, man.
I remember seeing it in the theaters when I was a kid.
Lethal Weapon show. Huh?
I remember seeing it when I was a kid.
Charlie's Angels?
Yeah.
No, the movie, not the show.
Yeah, the movie in the movie theaters when it came out.
You were
Dude, I was only 16 when it came out, bro. You're like 45.
All right, let me go back.
Does he have anything to do with the other show on Netflix, the Santa Clarita Diet that Drew Barrymore?
I have no idea. I haven't watched that yet.
That show is good. I like that, but it reminds like this
it's
movie
good,
kind of
Santa
reminds me
Clarita
of
Diet.
that shit. If you like this, I think you'd like that shit.
No
You
idea.
know what he did? He did that show Chuck.
Chuck is a great fucking show, man.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of them. But he also did Terminator Salvation. Never saw it, so I don't know. I've never seen past T2.
Really?
You know what? I've not seen past 3.
Did I see? I don't think I watched Salvation. I actually own it, but I never watched it. And then I saw Genesis just because Khaleesi was in it.
Oh, she
from
is?
Game of Thrones. Yeah, she plays Sarah Connor. But none of those movies
Really?
matter anymore anyway because now they're making the new one that's supposed to start right from T2
Got it.
or a continuation of T2.
Didn't he do like music videos?
I have no idea, man.
Gee, I don't know. For like who? Britney Spears or some shit?
I know
You don't
metal.
find
I don't
that
know
name to be a
fucking
little
like
pretentious?
what's that?
You don't find his name to be a little pretentious?
McG? No.
I don't know.
He
Joey
changed his
calls me
name,
J-Mac, so I can't really be
Yeah, I was gonna say
pretentious name around.
J Mac and Cheese.
J Mac and Cheese.
Oh, that Bill coined that one. That was great.
Did. Actually, Tanya did.
Tanya.
Tanya.
Speaking of
called
Tanya,
I love her
J Mac and
on
Cheese.
Horror Mafia, by the way.
you like her
What?
segment?
Yeah.
You like the Tanya's
that
torture?
poor woman, that what Don does to her it's a terrible
That
thing.
poor woman. What Don does to her?
It's terrible.
Wait till the next episode next week, man. Fucking, oh boy.
Oh
Everybody's
boy.
gonna be dancing, all right. Everybody
Oh,
but
I'm dancing
you.
Everybody but you.
Just James, if you get a chance, it's on Shudder. Night Train to Terror.
Night Train to Terror. All right.
You have Shudder? Yeah, right.
I have a version of it that belongs to you, kind of.
Yeah, so like 20 people have my Shudder info.
I think I haven't watched it in a while, but it's still in my phone. I think, yeah.
Yeah, so you should watch it.
All right.
But the 80s in all its glory.
Huh.
And I was gonna say, speaking of Tanya,
80s is the right word.
Tanya posted on the Facebook page. We have a couple of comments. So I put up a little post, what do you think of The Babysitter? So Tanya posted, I didn't know what to expect when we started watching this film. I loved it. So she loved it. Jared Constantino, our resident pirate, in charge of the Google Chrome Cosmo Kramer experiment. Jared says, love it. Good kills and funny quick wit, especially from the kid and the jock. But next time, if you're going to cast a Kate Upton lookalike, just get Kate Upton.
Who the fuck is Kate Upton?
Oh, she's that.
I have no idea.
Model, dude.
She's hot.
What?
Justin
She's a model.
Verlander's girlfriend or fiance.
swimsuit.
I thought it was like
Didn't they just get married in like
You guys-
Canada or some shit?
No, Upton's got
You guys ever seen the show Community?
Go ahead.
Oh. You ever see
Jugs.
Community, the show?
Nah, I never watched it.
I thought it was the same girl from Community that played the vegan chick.
I don't know.
I was like, no, she's like 20. This girl's like 30.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I
All right.
saw like first episode and
Kate Upton, you know those Game of War commercials that Will You Be My Hero? Like, she's like a terrible actress. This chick was a way better actress, the one in The Babysitter, than Kate Upton.
Yeah, Kate Upton. She was in
Go ahead.
there was a movie with her, Cameron Diaz, like the fucking husband is cheating on everybody and all the girls figure it out.
Jamie Lannister plays.
Jamie Lannister plays the fucking husband.
Yeah.
And she was in that, but that's the only like real fucking movie I think she was ever in.
Yeah, no, she's not. She was the Sports Illustrated, she was like on the cover of, the swimsuit issue.
Yeah, she was discovered at like a fucking Lakers
Okay.
game or something, right? She was in the crowd and they fucking videotaped her dancing and somebody offered her a modeling contract after that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
yeah, she basically did what she needed to do to get ahead.
She's
Head being
little-
the real word there.
bountiful in the body compared to the fucking main character in The Babysitter.
The Babysitter, she was, I don't know, there was something about her that was off. I don't know. Like,
Does she look like E.T. to you? Was that the problem? Not E.T. Fucking Alf.
no, she didn't look like that. I feel
Let's
like
save this
her
for
head
the
was too
review of
small
the
for the rest
movie.
of her whole body.
I could see that. I'm not a big fan of skinny chicks, so
She's also Australian, so
yeah.
I want to hear her talk
Oh.
regular.
Whoa, her last name is she related to Hugo Weaving?
Oh yeah,
Like,
of course.
Freaking agent in the.
Oh wait,
No.
actually, her younger sister Morgan is also an actress, and their uncle is film and theater actor Hugo Weaving.
Yeah, I saw the name. I'm like, yeah, freaking Agent Smith from the Matrix,
Yeah, it's Elrond.
and the elf guy from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Elrond. The eyes. Holy shit, their eyes. That's what it is. Their eyes.
Yeah. I mean, she was hot. She the hot lead, and how she had a certain look. However, they dressed her for that. But
Shit.
I thought they could have.
Yeah.
I think she was good for what she was supposed to be. I
Yeah.
wasn't mad at her. But like in real life, like my everyday life, she's too skinny. I need a chick who take a good kidney punch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
Holy shit.
yeah, agreed.
Well, let's set the stage here, right?
All right.
The movie basically is about Cole Johnson. He's a 12-year-old, and he's basically bullied, right? He just opens up with fucking getting hit in the head with a dodgeball.
He's got it coming at him from all angles, literally,
Literally.
like
And,
life is bullying him.
Oh, yeah. And he still has a babysitter. So B, his babysitter, basically comes in and stops the bullies from whooping his ass, right? And man, the writing here was fantastic.
I was a fan of like the insults that are thrown around in this movie.
Oh yeah.
He calls them colonoscopy. And then fucking when B shows up and she calls the kid a little pap smear.
Yeah, you little pap smear. And I love how she whispers something in his ear, and it's like it doesn't let you know what she said, and can only imagine what the fuck she said to this kid that he backed off. I'll fucking cut off your balls and serve them to you.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was an interesting one, right? The what's it called? The advice that she gives him after the bullies leave, just fucking punch him right in the dick.
Right in the dick.
Drop like a bag of rocks. Kick him right in the dick. Oh man. But then there's this song that's playing, and the music here was pretty interesting choice, because the song comes on and it's like the girls want to be here, the boys want to be here. So it's like, I don't know, I was really buying into like B is fucking awesome.
Oh
B is
yeah.
awesome.
I really
She was like, go ahead.
no, go ahead, Nick.
She was like the cool. Remember that movie? Remember Dazed and Confused? She was like the cool older sister. Like she was like awesome and like helping her younger brother out. Like I was trying to equate. I was trying to think back to like movies where there's like the hot, cool, like older, older sister kind of figure, and that was the first thing that came to mind. And nurturing, like helping his self-esteem, like helping him to be cool. And all this stuff, like Joey said, I was like, wow, she's friggin', enriching his life,
Yeah.
Yeah, I really
And like
enjoyed
all this stuff. Sorry, James.
No, I was just saying I really enjoyed the interaction between the two of them, all the fucking fun they seem to be having and all that kind of bullshit. Their relationship was endearing, I guess.
Yeah. Agreed.
Right. Fuck, what was I gonna say?
My bad.
It's all good. Jorts.
Jorts. Ken Marino.
Yeah.
He was remember that show The State? Long time ago on MTV. That's where like the friggin' Reno 911 people, Viva Variety, he was on that. Like it was like a sketch comedy show. Like he's still hysterical, that guy. So funny. I played his dad.
He was the only face I recognized from the movie.
The mother, I feel like she was on The League, like the
girl,
first season.
She was the main dude's ex-wife. She was good at a bunch of shit. She was in Talladega Nights. She was on that show Popular, like back when I was in high school.
Right on.
Oh yeah, Popular.
She was the blonde girl in that. She's in a bunch of stuff recently, man. She's in Trick or Treat, Joe.
Is she?
She's the one, the beginning, the wraparound story.
Yes.
Yeah. She normally has blonde hair,
Yes. And like that part, I loved it where it's like, Mom, am I a pussy? Do you think I'm a pussy, Mom? All this stuff is the exposition. It lets you know who this kid Cole is. It really paints the portrait of him, and then you see the change by the end of the film that he experiences through this dramatic,
it
thing that helps.
A demented coming of age.
Oh yes, that's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
I at first I wanted to say a roundabout coming of age, but I'm like, no, it like he just goes through this gauntlet of just shit, and then just
and eggs.
Yes.
And blood and everything,
Yep.
Yeah.
But even I like the relationship with his parents too, where you kind of got this kid that you love, but you kind of realize he's a fucking nerd, but you're trying to deal with it, Like
they were like the perfect parents too. They were awesome.
And even in the father had him in the car and was trying to get him to fucking fuck around, and he was like too scared to do it. Like that shit was I liked all that.
Yeah. You know, it's like he's in this car, and then the camera pans out. It's fucking this giant space.
Oh, yeah, they were at a racetrack.
Really says a lot
legit-
about the kid.
Yeah.
Yep. So before shit hits the fan, right? You know, you get the dance montage, like James and you guys just mentioned. The two of them, you could see their bond. Like this chick really takes care of this kid, and it looks like she really is sincere about it. I mean, they do ET fingers.
Yeah.
So, you know, you see that knife go into the dishwasher, and you know it's about to go down. Chekhov's gun.
I saw that and I was thinking of you, Joe, when you told me about Chekhov's gun.
I love it. But they did something great with it, right? When it does come time for the knife to come out. So I thought they handled that well. You know, the friend, so in the beginning of the film, you see his friend is a girl from school. The father has the car, right? And she tells him, yo, stay up late and see what she does. You know, she has boys over, right? See what's going down. So that's when the alarm came on for me. Like, that's when shit's going to go crazy. Because I came into this knowing nothing, and I was expecting like a slasher, you know, like a home invasion type ordeal, and the babysitter fought back. But at that moment, I was like, B is too good to be true. And lo and behold.
Just speaking of the friend, I like that when the friend tries to get the father to drive him home from school, being that they live across the street from each other. And he's like, yo, you're taking the bus, right? And he starts revving the fucking engine in the car, and he tells the kid, NASCAR Nation, bitch.
Yeah.
That shit was hysterical to me.
That was great. NASCAR, bitch. Oh, shit. Yep. It was, man, it was great. I really enjoyed this film. I really did. And then that's like the first 20 minutes or so, and then shit, you know, takes a trip down the off-beaten path, and shit starts to get crazy.
Yeah, like the whole that dorky dude, you know, the nerdy guy Samuel with kind eyes. That she freaking, you know, I don't know. I felt so bad for that dude. I don't know.
Yeah.
I got a spot in my heart for people like that. I don't know. I guess I always
the guy who got the dagger, right?
Oh yeah, the double daggers right in his freaking dome piece.
Yeah.
Right in the cranium.
And that shit, when the fucking blood spurts out and covers the black kid, gets drenched in that shit. That was his John, I think his name was, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, he kind of became famous through Vine.
Really?
His name, my son actually watches like his YouTube videos and shit. Like he would make these little vines and stuff. He's like a comedian or whatever. He's been in a couple movies now, but he became famous through making these little videos.
Andrew Batchelor, that kid?
Yeah, they call him King Botch. Is like Batch is his fucking like internet name or whatever.
He was hysterical. I was fucking cracking up.
He was great. But yeah, my son showed me he made some, what was it called? He made like a whole series of videos on YouTube, and it's like this 20-minute long thing, and it's a continuous song about him catching his girlfriend cheating or her catching him cheating or some shit. It was pretty fucking funny stuff. But that's basically how he's kind of become famous, is through fucking doing shit online and gaining a following, and now he's in movies and shit.
Oh, cool. Yeah, no, he was solid.
Yeah.
Real solid in this role.
Fucking chick tells him, you look like Carrie, but black. He goes, Carrie be better if he was black. She'd be covered in Hennessy. That shit was hysterical.
Yeah, it was a good line.
That chick is she's fucking Julia Roberts' niece or some shit. The cheerleader.
Bella Thorne.
Yeah.
She was in The Duff.
Yeah, and she was in a movie with Adam Sandler I seen her in too, where she's his daughter, but she's like a tomboy.
I don't know that
called
one.
Blended, I think.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
Yeah, he's raising two girls by himself, and he meets up with Drew Barrymore, who like they don't like each other at first, and she's raising like two little boys by herself, and of course they blend families / blended. You
Makes
know,
sense.
it was on a cruise when I was on it. It was like the only movie on one of the movie channels one day, so I watched it like 6 times in a row.
Very good.
That's also why I saw The Duff, because The Duff was on the next day.
Yeah. And my wife was watching. I was like, The Duff? Huh? And then I saw that girl.
Yeah.
Mae Whitman was in it. I was like, oh, I love that girl. So I watched it. It was all right. I actually liked it. Gotta say.
And the Asian
but
chick
anyway.
is from the Pitch Perfect movies.
Oh yeah, I think
That's
so.
right. The one that pukes all over the place.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. So man, you were right about that, Nikki. I fucking felt terrible for that kid. I was like, oh man, poor kid. Like, he really had, like, you knew something was up too when she was talking in the parking lot. And the kid was watching. I was like, you know, this kid is way too nerdy to be with this chick right now. What's going on? And then when they all came together, I was like, oh, all right, it's just their friend. Then when he was like, I barely know you guys, I was like, motherfucker's about to get it.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell, you know?
Before we got to that point, though, they get him there by playing the game of Truth or Dare and Spin the Bottle combined, which I've never seen. So that was inventive. But
That was cool. Yeah.
But fucking, I was watching that. I'm like, Jim is gonna watch this lesbian kiss and he'll be hard as a diamond.
I
Hard
want
as a diamond.
candy.
I like that.
I want candy. You just see like the saliva.
Yeah, I was like, they were really fucking. They were going.
Dude,
in.
yeah, there was a lot of spit there.
Oh yeah, and then the gum exchange.
Yep.
Big
And then-
wad of purple gum.
And
You
her
know,
finger coming back with the spit on it. Like, oh,
What is
Oh.
she does the shit from The Godfather, right? She tells
Yeah.
this one, Fredo, I know it was you, and the other girl
yeah.
goes,
Godfather
"Is that
2,
the
right.
Lord of the Rings?" I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, I heard that.
That was great. I loved it. I was like, Godfather reference, yes.
Right. And she said, like, God, Lord of the Rings, like Frodo. No, Fredo. Fredo.
Oh man. So yeah, then the daggers come out and then words come on the screen. What the fuck? I was like,
Yeah, I love that, dude.
yeah, I loved it. Pocket knife.
Sorry,
That was like
I'm gonna save my shit for when it's my turn. I'm sorry.
it almost got like it was almost like Pulp Fiction, you know, like with the artwork, like it got animated, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With the words on the screen and
Yeah,
that
yeah.
stuff.
The way like the gore happens with the excessive blood gushes and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So BC, let's get your thoughts because I know you were having a little tech difficulties.
Am I
You
sounding
sound
okay?
great now, baby.
All right. Well, I love this fucking movie. I didn't think I would, but had I known it was Mick G who directed this, I would have watched it like a month ago.
Yeah. When it came out.
Anyway, yeah, this fucking movie is amazing. I loved it. I loved every second of it. But it's got flaws.
Yes.
Like, all right, you call the cops. There's a murder in your house. They're not going to like appear out your front door with their fucking lights on. They're going to park like 3 blocks back and sneak over,
Yeah.
right?
Probably. Or more than one car is
I'm
going
a
to
son
show
of
up for a murder. And when you just get a little, oh, it's okay, 10-4 back. No.
Oh, yeah, another thing, right?
A murder is
10-4.
getting invested a little bit more.
Yeah, we're getting food. And then they're like, all right, enjoy your double-double, which is a West Coast fucking In-N-Out burger joke. What was the other thing? I had like a couple of problems with the script. There was one part where, oh,
He
geez.
fucking falls off the fucking house and gets up.
No.
Yeah, by
the
the time
part
he
where,
fell,
like,
he was only like one.
At the end, no, when like when the kid and the little girl across the street, they're like in her house, and they run past the open front door to go to the bathroom. I'm like, what? Go the fucking out. The door. It's open.
I didn't even notice that now until you say it now.
They showed it open, and then, like they run past it, then go in the bathroom.
Oh yeah, and to have that like touching like first kiss scene.
Yeah. So I was like, no, little
Next
things
time we'll
like
make
that.
out.
But you know what?
I was
It's a fun. It's a fucking. What do you call it? Cartoon. The movie's a cartoon. I
Yes.
loved it.
And it's aware of itself. It knows that
Yeah.
it's not trying to be, serious. It's trying to be fun, and
Yeah.
that's a good thing.
And that's what it did. It was an entertaining, fun fucking movie, and I loved every second of it. I don't care. It had a great soundtrack. Oh, and the fucking theme, not the soundtrack, but the fucking theme to it. With like the can I give away spoilers? I don't know.
Yeah, let's spoil it up.
All right. The devil music with the the guys like chanting. I was like, oh my God, this is fucking awesome. Everything about this movie I loved, despite the flaws. But it's not a 5 out of 5. It's a 4 out of 5.
Gave your rating already?
I loved it. Oh shit, sorry. Was I not supposed to?
No, not yet, but it's okay. Oh,
Cut that out, right?
No. We don't edit on Slice and Dice. Come on.
What's editing, right?
What are you
Yeah.
kidding?
No, I really enjoyed the movie.
Likewise, I
Fun
did
as
too.
hell. Great gore
Um,
too, by the way.
Did I read Mr. Paul Stevenson's comment? I don't think I did.
No.
Mr. Paul Stevenson
No.
also commented, my partner on Death by Podcast and the fantastic toy photographer, Mr. Paul Stevenson. I love it. I'm finding myself more and more fond of schlock-filled horror humor such as this. At first, I hated the kid, but he grew on me. The lead girl is strong too. 4 out of 5, and it might raise after re-enjoyments.
I agree. All right, you know what? The first part of
Fuck
the
it.
movie,
That's my rating too. 4 out of 5, man.
Right. Dude.
I loved it too.
But you know what's funny is it took a half hour for something horror to happen.
And I'm
It was
okay
like-
with that.
Yeah, me too. I was like, I'm like looking at, is this a comedy? It's a
Like,
half hour.
I didn't know what to expect, and I was waiting for that moment, and there was like little signs, and I was like, all right, maybe she's gonna be one to save this kid from a killer, but then maybe she
Dude.
is the killer, and maybe
Right.
she's really nice to the kid, but she's like, slaughtering men, and I was not expecting it to be some fucking deal with the devils type.
Right, dude. In fact, I saw one posting say it was an adult version of the Home Alone series.
It
Like,
got
what?
very Home Alone-y.
Yeah,
Home
Alone-y.
Home Alone.
But at first I was like, what? Like the babysitter and the kid are gonna like set traps for bad guys? I'm like, what? But you know what? Oh my God, it was and the girl played the fucking killer. She looks so familiar to me. I have no idea where I've seen her before. But she was gorgeous for one thing. She was hot. And second of all, I've got a thing for what's his name from Exploding Heads, Brandon. He will be very happy to know something. There is a TV movie of Picnic at Hanging Rock starring this girl.
Really?
His favorite movie. Yeah. It's a TV show.
It's a
So
TV show.
Brandon would love to hear that she is the star of Picnic at Hanging Rock.
Oh my.
Yep.
All right.
I was like, what is she in? I know her from somewhere. No, I guess I don't. I looked at everything she's done. I'm like, nope.
I just can't stop thinking of Mr. Anderson now with blonde hair.
Mr. Anderson,
Holy shit, her eyes are exactly his.
you help your landlady with her garbage.
Oh, cousin Nick.
Cousin Nikki.
I saw that in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
With you, Joe. Yeah.
Yep.
With you. Yeah. That's funny. I don't know.
Yes.
Brings back memories of the Matrix. Yeah.
What was that, like 97?
No, 1999. Spring of 99.
99.
Yeah.
Spring of 99.
I was 30.
I was 14.
I was 19. I again, I had no expectations going into that movie, and I liked it. Like I liked the twist where it went. You know, definitely. Man, it led you on. It made you believe that she was there for him. You know, and
Right.
it was wow. Like they really played into that, and it's like maybe this kid's home life isn't so great. His parents are fucking wackos, or or
The part where
what's
she's
going on.
jerking him off in the bed.
He's got
Yes.
yeah.
That's
Sorry, but
hysterical.
I couldn't forget that scene.
Yeah.
The only thing that would have made that better if they were like playing the song in the background. Dance with me, dance with me.
Oh shit! That fucking song. Holy
I'm
shit!
sorry. I'm sorry, cousin.
Dance
Go
with
ahead.
me. Yeah, even at the end when she's like crushed under the car, I'm like, I really think she loved that kid,
Well, yeah,
Like,
she cried,
could-
man. There's a tear
Yeah.
coming down.
Yeah,
She
I
did
mean,
love him.
she did choose to blow her friend's head off and not his.
Yeah, at first I was like, is she like really hitting on this fucking kid? And then I'm like going, what? Oh, I see what's going on.
I think I mean, we witnessed him like that car. So like we witnessed him get his his first real boner. Like when looking at her, it was no longer like a lower pelvic
real boner.
lower pelvic numbness. It was like a bona fide like like friggin' like I mean Jesus.
Holy shit! I had to mute that. I'm sorry. I laughed so hard. We had to witness his first boner. That was great.
Oh shit! Yeah, and that scene when she's at the pool, like, and I was just like, my gosh,
Yeah.
how's this kid just like controlling himself?
That was like a Fast Times, like the Phoebe Cates Fast Times at
Yes,
Ridgemont High,
yes.
which is the ultimate like pool scene ever.
Oh,
Like
Yes, it
nothing
was.
nothing touches that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But then all hell breaks loose, and
Wow. I agree.
he transforms.
Oh yeah.
Well, I don't know about him, but I sure did.
Oh shit.
I transformed into Megatron.
Dun, 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 dun. Chicka, chicka.
No, that's
Bow, bow.
Ferris Bueller.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. Oh, what about the fucking like little homages to like Friday the 13th when he's like
No, that was yeah. There's a
Those
lot
freaking
of those
awesome.
actually, with like the ET fingers and the fucking
There were.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. This is because Nikki's sign. I'm sorry, man.
No.
it's all good.
No. Don't worry about it. Kind of reminded me of Scream, like some parts. I don't know. It felt screamish.
Scream.
Yeah, like the friggin' jock guy. Well, first of all, he's not outrunning the friggin' quarterback. Like that was
Right.
like this jack dude that obviously does like CrossFit and shit. Like
And runs because he's a fucking quarterback.
yeah, like zero body fat. The guy's one arm in his way up to the treehouse. Just like I got this. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. Also, it was brought to my attention that he's like a star on the show Arrow as the cousin or something.
Oh, he's on that program?
I don't know. I don't watch Arrow.
Interesting.
Watch the first two seasons. That's about it.
I'm not a DC guy, so I don't know. Oh, The Flash?
Bullshit.
Me too. I'm a Marvel guy.
J-Mac has been off air for a little while. He is having internet issues. But we'll rate this in a few moments. Did you guys know that there was an after credits scene?
Yes, I did. I watched the
No.
whole thing.
You got to be careful with the freaking Netflix, man. They
Yeah, they stick those fucking things in like, would you like to see the next movie now? And then cut and like, what?
Huh. Interesting. Interesting. I'm new to
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to
the
be
after
aware.
credits scene is a firefighter goes in the house and you see the car and B is no longer under it. He turns around and she's there and she,
Attacks him.
Oh wow! So we'll see it now.
B is still alive.
Yep.
So there's gonna be another one.
Hopefully.
I think this movie's getting a lot of praise, for being a fun movie. So it's possible,
I have a
It's
question
possible.
though. In this movie, the black guy, was he supposed to be gay?
No, he was definitely because he's putting on the chapstick, the lip balm, getting ready
Right.
to smooch.
But that was all planned out to begin with, remember? That's why she licked his face instead of kissing him. And then he started going off in this gay tirade.
I disagree. I think he was like after the lesbian, scene, when her
But
and
it was all planned though, man. They've done this
was it?
before.
Oh, all right.
It was all planned, but I think he was still sincere about that.
Yeah.
I really don't, because he was all, oh, hi, and he's like acting gay.
Huh.
I,
Well, I thought,
I
like-
did not pick up on that.
Yeah. No, me neither.
Really?
I thought it was like staged, but he was also like Joey said, like that. He was like getting down with it, like he was into it, like he was,
I really
definitely
thought
aroused.
he was not. I thought that the fact that she licked him was because they planned this beforehand. And,
Ah.
well,
Who plans a lick though?
after the part, what's
Do you
that?
think to set the other guy? I mean, the Samuel, the guy with condoms, like
Sam the Sacrifice.
sacrificial Sam.
Yep.
I
Yeah,
feel so bad about that guy.
He was cool.
they even called him Sacrifice Sam.
Oh,
Yep.
Damn it.
Oh, man. Yeah, it was. I like how they used, the classic archetypes characters there. You had the
Yeah,
popular
right.
jock, the
You were like-
cheerleader, the nerd, the token
Right.
black guy.
Token black
Well,
guy.
I thought he was a token black guy and the gay guy mixed in together. And then all that, I'm like, oh, they're all dead first. And then I'm like, wait, no, they're the killers. That was brilliant.
Yeah, it was great.
Interesting.
But I didn't pick up on the gay part. No,
Okay.
I could have sworn he was just like there was dialogue about him talking about getting all up in chicks and stuff.
Yeah, but in the beginning, until the part where they killed Sam the Sacrifice, then he went like, "Oh hell's yeah!" And he was like talking like a gay guy. I'm like, "What?"
I'd have to reassess it, but I didn't pick up on it. But yeah, I've seen people talk about how they thought this movie was horrible.
Horrible, really?
Yeah, people think
Well,
it's
there's a lot of Mick G haters
too-
out there. I know.
too referential, to the tropes of the genres, both horror and comedy. But I mean, it works. It's meta. It's aware of itself. It's not like it's trying to be serious. You know what I mean?
No, it
Not
was a
trying to be
cartoon. I
serious.
loved
Yeah.
it.
It's a great way to put it. It was a
It was-
cartoon.
It was definitely a cartoon. It was, yeah. I thought it was not. Like I said, guys, I have no point of reference with this stuff. I don't know what the hell's going on. Like seriously, I just go into it, like I like it. Like I go into it like totally open minded, and I was, here I am right now saying like, yeah, I was entertained.
Yeah, you're not gonna throw a fucking what is that? The fireplace poker through someone's head all the way through his skull, and then pull it off, pull his head off.
You know what I was, the real, like, how is she gonna clean all this shit up before they get home?
Oh, there's a lot of fucking continuity errors too. Like afterwards, like the big round circle, the rug was clean afterward.
Yeah.
Like, what? Come on.
Also, the friend across the street, like, all these people just walked in the place because she told them that, and you don't hear from your boy for mad long. You've seen cop cars show up. You know, you had to have been watching. You were home alone. What were you doing? You know, this was your plan from the get-go. Yeah. So she should have been more involved sooner, and the fact that she wasn't, you knew eventually she was gonna. So it was just a matter of time. So yeah, there's definitely aspects of it that, are, weak points, but I think they could be overlooked because it's not a serious film, because they're having fun while they're doing this. It's not, The Exorcist. It's not fucking something that needs, every little detail needs to be fleshed out like that.
Right. And again, how many cops show up to a murder and they fucking have their lights going on in front of the house? No, they'll park 3 blocks away and walk up to the fucking house.
Right. So
unannounced, they don't want to do that. So,
all right. So J Mac, you back?
Yeah, man. I don't know what happened. It's never happened before, but it took me a minute to figure it the fuck out. So, but yeah, I'm back.
Yeah, we just been shooting the shit. So, Bill dropped his rating by accident. So
I did. I'm sorry.
Paul Stevenson, when I read the comment, his rating was also the same as Bill's, 4 to 5, and so was mine. So I dropped mine. So you want to give your final thoughts, comments, and rate it?
Yeah, I guess I'll give it 4 out of 5, Sue. A lot of the stuff that you got, I just heard you guys talking about when I got back. You don't think about it. I didn't think about any of that kind of stuff till after the movie. While I was in it, all that little continuity fucking issues and all that kind of shit didn't matter. You know what I mean? I was enjoying it that much. When she gets shot in the titty, that was hysterical.
But you know what? That was actually the one of the biggest accurate scenes in the fucking movie. You get shot with a fucking 45, you're getting thrown across the fucking room.
Yeah. But when
it's not like you're getting shot, oh my God, my tit. No.
Yeah,
you're going whomp.
Carrying on about how they weren't done growing yet and all that kind of shit. And
that was awesome.
She's legit trying not to laugh while she was saying it. And I love when I catch shit like that in movies, because I like to learn that they're fucking enjoying themselves while they're doing some of this shit.
Yeah.
And that was funny. And then the friggin' the black kid being like that he'll still motorboat him, how you want it? And the guy's a motorboat. And he's like, you got a good brain or some shit, whatever the fuck he said. That shit was hysterical. That kid was funny.
There was the part he gets hit with all the blood. He's screaming about it.
Yeah,
that was
2 out of 3 people. Was it 2 out of 4 people have an STD? I got 2 people's blood on me. I got AIDS. I know it. He's fucking.
Dude, that was like Ash and Evil Dead 2 with the blood in his face every time.
Yeah,
that was great.
That kid was great. I liked all the kills and stuff. Nick said before about it being a coming of age kind of story, because this kid who was afraid of everything is now doing all this fucking brave type shit,
Yeah.
And
it all starts when he pushes the kid off the balcony and he gets the freaking the glass award thing right in the jugular.
Yeah, and then when he moves and rips more, that shit was dope. What was the fucking where the fuck did they ever say where this movie's supposed to take place?
California, probably.
It was California.
Yeah,
probably because that In-N-Out burger reference.
Oh yeah, I've never been to California, but do they have fucking tarantulas roaming around?
Yes.
I see some big
the tarantulas. Thank you.
Those
are not house spiders.
Yeah, those aren't spiders you find in your.
Those are tarantulas.
I mean, I see some big ass those. They got banana spiders down here, and those sons of bitches get big, but there isn't fucking giant colonies of them. You know what I mean?
Big enough to get caught in a rat trap.
Yeah.
But I was like, those are not fucking house spiders. They're tarantulas.
With the firework and all that shit,
yeah.
and that was dope. I loved all the kills in it. The fucking shotgun headshot that happens.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Like I just didn't expect that at all. Like I'm watching, just listening to and when he punches her in the tits when he's trying to
Yeah.
fight her, and she starts acting all offended. That fucking scene was
You
great.
pervert.
Perfect. I've never
trying to
felt
kill
so
me.
violated. But yeah, I loved it, man. I thought she was
Fucking
great.
love this movie.
For what this movie was supposed to be, like I might even give it like a 5 out of 5. There's no
Yeah.
point is this thing's supposed to take itself seriously.
Whoa, 5
You know what I'm
out of 5.
But what it's supposed to be as like a comedy horror movie, like how could it have really been better in that aspect?
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is definitely horror comedy at its funnest.
Yeah, and the fucking and I like the way it wrapped
Yeah.
up too, man. And maybe there'll be a fucking sequel where she's trying to get revenge on the fucking kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, did you guys watch
Maybe
the
they'll
little
finally
piece
leave him
after
home
the
alone.
credits? Or no?
Yeah, we talked about that.
Oh,
We,
yeah.
All right, yeah.
or she
I
could
missed
leave
it,
town
but
and find another kid, and another
Yeah,
faucet.
something, but it was fucking dope, man. I like.
I'll watch it.
I mean, I could have definitely, got a couple of more minutes of the mythos of, the whole the book
demon,
and the
yeah.
demon stuff, right? That would have been cool. Like what they all individually wanted, because the whole point was to sacrifice to get what you want, right? Get whatever
Yeah.
you want.
Yep.
Make a
She
deal with
said
the
she was
devil.
like a small kid, and
Mhm.
they were beating up on her or whatever, and she was gonna be strong, and yeah.
Right. She was just like him, she said, and she made a deal with the devil.
well, like
Even that,
Yep.
that last little scene where she's stuck under the car and they're talking and the whole what was it, the intergalactic fucking
Yeah.
squad or whatever, that fucking thing, like whatever the fuck they were calling it.
Intergalactic Dream Team.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. Fucking that, I like that scene too, man. I really enjoyed this movie.
That was cute.
Yeah.
it seems like though you got to go.
But her
like-
idea was,
Go ahead.
oh, go ahead, Ken.
Oh no! It seems like an awfully great lengths to go to just gain some confidence. You know what I'm saying? You gotta, get the blood of the innocent. And like all this shit. There's a couple of podcasts out there that deal with personal happiness and self-esteem. That I tune into once in a while. I don't got to draw blood from the innocent at all.
No, just tune in and sit back.
Yeah, sit back and tell myself nice things.
I also
Day
thought
is a beautiful
the
day.
scene in the bathroom with his little homegirl when she kisses him, that was like a great little prepubescent fucking thing.
Yeah.
Like after the kiss, she's like, next time we'll make out, and he kind of like makes a face and fucking runs out. Like that shit was dope.
Yeah.
He's looking for like knives going towards his head.
Crunch. Chewing the lollipop now.
That's right.
Well, J-Mac, you rated 4 to 5 also, and Cousin Nikki, what's your rating on The Babysitter?
I'm gonna stick with the 4 out of 5. Yeah.
All right. Excellent. So The Babysitter, 4s all around. Recommended by all.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Great movie on Netflix.
and a great episode of Slice and Dice. It was a pleasure. I have no idea what's on the next episode because we didn't talk about it, but we'll be back next time with our co-host on the regular, Jimmy B, and special guest Kane Hodder. So,
I was gonna say, since Jim isn't here to fight it, you want to just pick 2 subtitled movies right now?
oh yeah, definitely. Hold on, let me go on
No,
Shudder.
let's get Don to pick out 2 fucking like Italian
Oh.
fucking jollos or some shit just for
Some
Jim.
boring ones, yeah.
Well, it is Italian Horror Month on the 22 shots, so maybe we'll have to do that. So,
How about blood-sucking freaks?
ooh, well, we'll see what happens. Well, Nikki, Cousin Nikki, hopefully we'll hear from you again on the one of the shows, and thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me, guys. It was a lot of fun. Absolute blast.
And Mr. BC, Bill Casanelli, a pleasure as always.
Hey, buddy. Thank you. Anytime. You guys want me, I'll be here.
Back-to-back episodes. You joined us for Halloween retrospective, so
What is this?
Yeah.
Bill's like 3rd, 4th time? jumping on this with us. I think he's our resident special guest, man.
Yeah.
Right?
We just might have to do Slashers and 100 Bloody Acres next time.
Let's do it.
That was supposed to be an episode from the summer, and we never got to do it.
Episode. Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, on that note, we're approaching 1 a.m. here on the East Coast, and Slice and Dice Shredcast out.